Coming up on KOTA Territory News at 5:30, controversy over the proposed Liberty Land Park in North Rapid. We'll have the details. Plus an update on a fire early this morning at a hotel on North Lacrosse Street in Rapid City. Plus the son of a man found murdered earlier this week has been apprehended at the conclusion of a manhunt. Your news starts now.
From Skyline Drive, this is KOTA Territory News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Jack Cottle. A multi-day manhunt to catch the main target of a murder investigation here in Pennington County has come to an end. 30-year-old Nicholas Selig is under arrest for first-degree murder. He's being held in the Pennington County Jail. KOTA Territory Blake Trolley shows us how authorities caught the son of the man whose body was found south of Rapid City on Tuesday.
Police responded at Jackson Boulevard on a tip from someone who believed they had seen the son, Nicholas Selig. The 30-year-old was taken into custody and questioned by investigators about the murder of his father. All of this happening in front of this auto repair shop nearly 2 days after the disturbing discovery.
He was very compliant. They ended up handcuffing him right away, bringing him back over toward the car, and laid a handgun out on the hood, and then had a conversation. Pennington County Sheriff showed up, and then they took the suspect and left the scene.
Ryan Berenzi says he knew who officers were speaking with. Were you guys pretty sure it was him once you kind of saw it all go?
Once we saw his face, yeah, we were definitely sure it was him.
Tuesday, police responded to the area of Victoria Lake Road and First Thunder Road. A person who lives in the area reported finding a body, which was ultimately identified as the 57-year-old Vernon Selig, who had been shot in the head. Police searched the area for Nicholas through Tuesday evening into Wednesday morning to find him. Police spoke on the killing later that day to local media. KOTA Territory News asked if it appeared the body was transported to the remote area where it was found.
We're still working through that side of this to be able to clearly answer that question, as it's still ongoing at this point.
The Pennington County Sheriff's Department is leading the investigation with the help of the Rapid City Police Department. In Rapid City, Blake Trolley, KOTA Territory News.
Rapid City police have identified the man shot and killed inside an East Watertown Street apartment complex last night. Officers found 29-year-old Monty Gakin of Rapid City with gunshot wounds around 7:15 that night. Law enforcement is interviewing several people who they believe were present at the time of the shooting. Detectives also recovered evidence is being tested for forensic purposes. Anyone with information on the case is urged to call Detective Brendan Leonard at 605-394-4131. An anonymous tip can also be submitted by texting the letters RCPD and the information to 847-411. The Rapid City Fire Department was called to a fire early this morning in North Rapid. Firefighters arrived at the hotel on the 2100 block of North Lacrosse Street at around 1:30 this morning. The fire damaged rooms on the 3rd floor, and workers were on the roof making repairs this afternoon. Crews are familiar with the address because it's supposed to be vacant, but there have been reports of people occupying the structure without authorization. No injuries were reported, and the cause of the fire is under investigation. Well, rain has been impacting some of KOTA territory this afternoon. What should we expect going into tonight and the end of the week? Chief Meteorologist David Stradling is here to let us know. So, rain back on the way.
Yeah, we're still going to be seeing some rain. We've had a few light showers in town, nothing too widespread for us, but that rain's going to be moving in shortly. We are noticing those rain showers up towards Butte County. They move through the Black Hills from Deadwood to Spearfish through Belfouche, and we also have some more storms firing up in northeast Wyoming that are going to be slowly moving to the east. This area of rain, a few showers near Belfouche, but I'd say the more prominent rain is a little farther northwest of town. And then you also have some out towards Newell and areas to the east of that, and Island as well. Gillette, just to your southwest, a nice little thunderstorm just south of Wright. While it's raining in town, it's a little bit of a storm south there that's going to continue to move our way with showers and thunderstorms near Sheridan. Golden West Tower cameras showing those clouds over the Black Hills, and cooler air where the rain is falling. 60s in Wright and Spearfish, Custer as well. 70s and 80s elsewhere. We'll have more showers and thunderstorms through Saturday, and I'll time and detail everything out for you coming up.
Thank you, David. In light of a recent U.S. Geological Survey study on water in the Black Hills, Rapid City wants to assure its residents that they have reliable water service. The study revealed that some of the region's subaquifers aren't refilling at the same rate water is being taken out. It also raised groundwater supply concerns in the Rapid City region. Yet the city's water superintendent said they have conducted an analysis indicating that their water rights portfolio is estimated to support town growth for the next 100 years. Nearly 17% of the city's portfolio is made up of groundwater, which come from the Madisons and Minaloosa aquifers. The other 83% is comprised of surface water and surface rights in the Deerfield and Pactola reservoirs.
We continue to invest in our water infrastructure, our current rate structure that we just passed a couple years ago included some improvements to diversify our sources, strengthen our surface water treatment capacity.
Boyd has said the city's mix of water sources allows it to be flexible in providing reliable water service to the community. 15 new employees for the Pennington County Sheriff's Office were sworn in today. 9 new correction officers took an oath to serve and protect the community, along with medical techs and transport officers were sworn in during that ceremony. For one corrections officer, he says he's been a part of 4 ceremonies. The job keeps him coming back to serve the community.
Yeah, I just want to be a change maker. That's my whole goal, be a change maker and a role model to the inmates. Because a lot of these inmates respect me and look up to me. I've dealt with them for years. And when they see a familiar face, it just lets them know that, hey, this guy is professional and this guy is safe.
Back in February of 2020, voters rejected a bond referendum that would have funded facility updates to many Rapid City schools. Since that time, Rapid City area schools have been collecting community feedback to develop a plan to better gauge support. The new plan would address the district's long-standing facility needs, including HVAC and security concerns, at a much lower cost than the previous proposal. To determine if people would support the plan, the district sent out a community survey last month. RCAS received more than 5,500 submissions, with more surveys that are still being received and processed by School Perceptions, an independent research firm that ran the survey.
To address a lot of the major facility issues that the district has, it would greatly help the timeline to accomplish those things, to get a referendum passed.
The passing of a potential bond referendum would allow RCAS to pay for an additional $125 million in essential projects that can't be covered through the district's annual budget in the foreseeable future. Many RCAS schools are still without air conditioning, including Robbinsdale and South Park Elementary Schools. Both have been around for the last 70 years. It's been more than 50 years since the last bond referendum was passed.
What we've really focused on after the last bond is taking the lessons, the feedback, both positive and negative. We have internally dug deeply into our facility situation to try to better understand it.
The survey revealed that 58% of respondents would definitely or probably support a bond referendum. It would need 60% to pass. It also showed that only 36% of respondents felt that the district handles funds appropriately. The school board said it will be reviewing the updated data at upcoming meetings and discuss a path forward for the proposed bond referendum. A Rapid City alderman said there's been some misinformation spreading around social media regarding a project proposal on the north side of town. That's about where tax dollars are coming from for the proposed Liberty Land project. Specifically, Alderman Callie Meyer speaks about concerns over diverting current tax monies or taking future ones. She says these tax dollars do not exist if this project does not happen. Nothing from nothing is nothing, she says. The tax dollars will only be diverted if the Liberty Land project gets underway and performs well. Meyer also addressed the idea of putting the project to a public vote, saying she believes low voter turnout will lead to underrepresentation of the true public sentiment over the project. This tracks with her concerns of how the younger demographic in Rapid City feels about the project.
I get really passionate about this because I'm so mad that people who they're trying to impact what's going to impact me a lot longer and people my age, and I go out and I talk to people in person because I put zero stock in what happens on social media, and people are fine with it.
The project plan and TIF were sent to City Council by the city's Legal and Finance Committee on Wednesday. What's been a nice overcast day in KOTA territory, so how are Friday and the weekend looking? We'll have the latest in your accurate First Alert forecast coming up later. First, we highlight a local nonprofit which works towards substance abuse prevention. That's in this week's KOTA Cares after the break. In this week's KOTA Cares, we're highlighting Action for the Betterment of Our Community, a nonprofit organization in Sturgis that provides substance abuse prevention and treatment services for all ages with the goal of creating a healthier and safer community. KOTA Territory Jasmine Davis visited the facility this week to see how they're making a positive difference.
Action for the Betterment of Our Community, also known as ABC, is committed to reducing drug and alcohol use among youth and adults while addressing other social issues that impact the community. To meet those needs, they offer a variety of services including individual counseling, aftercare group counseling, outpatient group for adult males, and specialized classes and programs for youth. Frankie Sterklin, Assistant Director at Sturgis ABC, says their facility is a safe space where individuals can build the skills needed to rebuild their lives.
Our building is a safe space for people to come and recover. This is where they are learning the skills to, be back in the community, doing things on their own, cooking, cleaning, laundry, all of those kind of things. So it's really, I think, just the resources that we can provide them here.
Sturgis ABC offers housing for men who meet program requirements, starting in a tiny home before moving into a large house for 7 residents. Kara Graveman, Executive Director at Sturgis ABC, says she's seen the impact of their work firsthand and hopes to expand services in the future.
With the platform we have here, we can sometimes even be a landlord reference for them, and so that we can help get them to that next phase of their life. We hope to facilitate more men. We hope to serve more people. The problem with substance use and abuse isn't necessarily going away, and the more we can do to work together with other providers in the community, the better we all are for the future.
And Chief Meteorologist David Stradling has a look at the latest moisture chances as we get closer to the holiday weekend. The details are in your accurate First Alert forecast next.
Now, the First Alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist David Stradling.
Plenty of clouds today, showers and thunderstorms for some, especially off towards the Black Hills and northeast Wyoming. This band of rain is moving northeast through Butte County into portions of Carter County and Meade County. Those in northwest South Dakota have been pretty dry, but that band is going to move your way throughout the evening hours. East of Newell and Nisland, having a nice little shower there. North of Belle Fourche in northwestern Butte County, also some nice rain. This will continue to lift up towards Harding and Ziebach and Perkins counties through the evening hours. Now we have Campbell County with some isolated thunderstorms, one of them south of Wright, one southwest of Gillette with a couple of more near Casey and Johnson County, the southeast side there. Buffalo with a few storms near town, Sheridan too. These are going to continue to move kind of east-northeast through the rest of the evening hours, and we'll continue to track some of those showers and thunderstorms as we go overnight tonight and throughout our Friday. So it is going to be a pretty nice amount of moisture we get out of these showers and thunderstorms to continue to help deficit that we're going through right now and improve the drought monitor. So what we are looking at in our hour-by-hour forecast Friday night, continuing to see isolated showers and thunderstorms that'll continue throughout the day on Saturday too. So some decent moisture over the next couple of days, and most of that should be tapering off by Saturday evening and drying us out going into Sunday. By Sunday, less clouds, a high of 76. There may be a storm possible in the Black Hills, but by Monday we're mainly sunny, warmer for Labor Day, a high temperature of 83 degrees. Now the moisture we're expecting out of these storm systems, about a 1/10 of an inch to a 1/2 of an inch through parts of northeast Wyoming and into southwest South Dakota, into the central northern Black Hills, areas along and north of I-90 in western South Dakota, likely a 1/2 of an inch to an inch and a half. The purples, the brighter blues here are going to be more of the higher amounts, possibly as you look at the map exceeding an inch and a half in some spots, but that's more likely towards central and south central South Dakota. And that's good news because they could really use it. They're still dealing with abnormally dry conditions and moderate drought, but we are noticing drought conditions down towards southwestern Custer County and Fall River County increasing into the moderate drought there as it's expanding a little bit more through Fall River County. So hopefully some of this moisture can get to those locations, but as of right now the bullseye looks to help central South Dakota compared to the southwest part of the state. However, we'll take anything that we can get. Showers and storms tonight, mainly cloudy, temperatures in the 50s for many, a few spots near 60, highs tomorrow in the 60s and 70s, the 60s mainly in the Black Hills. Showers and thunderstorms off and on throughout the day, a slight breeze at times. Northeast Wyoming going to keep showers through Saturday, but we'll notice warmer air starting to build as we make our way into Sunday. You could say the same thing for the Black Hills. Coolest air in the higher terrain, 60s for the next 3 days in Custer, 71 by Sunday in Deadwood, 70s for Hot Springs, and for the most part Spearfish. The South Dakota Plains, all 70s. Pretty much going to be feeling pretty nice for us. Showers and thunderstorms Friday and Saturday, and then we'll dry out nicely going into Sunday. For Labor Day, we're 83. The day after, 82. Stray storms possible Tuesday afternoon. And then for Wednesday and Thursday, temperatures will fall back into the 70s. Wednesday, nice and cool. We may struggle to even reach 70. We'll have to kind of see what the data continues to show us as we get closer.
Just got to clear it up Sunday for Dog Day at the pool.
Yeah, Dog Day at the pool. Things looking pretty nice. Just that storm chance in the Black Hills. Otherwise, good to go.
All right, that'll do it. Well, coming up, the Black Hills State and South Dakota Mines football teams are ready to kick off the new season tonight. Plus, we'll introduce you to the new head coach of the Stevens football team as the Raiders get ready to kick things off tomorrow night. Vic Quick has all the details next in KOTA Sports.
Happy dinner time, everybody. The Douglas football team takes the field with a new head coach this season as former Stevens quarterback George Johnson takes over the reins of the program. Johnson spent last season as an assistant on the team. The Patriots open up the new season tomorrow night when they host Mitchell. Kickoff is at 6 o'clock out in Box Elder. The Stevens football team kicks off the new season tomorrow night. The Raiders will get a tough test right off the bat as they hit the road to take on the defending state champs and #1 team in the preseason poll, Sioux Falls Lincoln. Stevens has a new leader this season as Willie Steven takes over as head coach. Steven brings 20 years of coaching experience at the high school, college, and youth levels. He inherits a team that went winless last year, but Steven is confident his guys can get things headed in the right direction.
You know, we believe in these guys. We're constantly telling them we believe in them. You know, we're constantly coaching them and, you know, just getting that buy-in. And right now it feels real good. And so, yeah, I feel like we're going to shock the world and we're going to do some things that we haven't done. We can't change the past. That's been one of the things that I've said throughout camp as well. Ultimately, we want to compete. You know, I'm not saying we're going to go out and win the state title all of a sudden. You gotta build some things and create some camaraderie and, you know, that new culture that we're trying to build to get to that level, which we will get there. But I just want to see them fight hard, work hard, you know, from the beginning of the game to the end of the game.
We will have a huge matchup in the 9-man football ranks tomorrow night as the top-ranked team in 9A, Wall, hosts third-ranked Harding County Bison. The Eagles opened the season with an impressive 54-6 victory over Phillip last week. The Ranchers down Gettysburg 44-12 in their opener. Kickoff is at 6 o'clock tomorrow night at the Wall High School. The St. Thomas More football team will also host Mount Vernon Plankington tomorrow night. The Cavaliers defeated a second-ranked Sioux Valley 28-14 in the opener and have moved up to third in the 11B rankings. The Black Hills State football team kicks off the new season tonight as it hosts the University of Sioux Falls. The Yellow Jackets finished with a winning record last year, going 6-5. BH looks to add to that win total this season. The Cougars finished with an 8-3 record last year. Kickoff is in just a few minutes at 6 o'clock out at Lyle Hare Stadium. The South Dakota Mines football team kicks off the new season as it plays at CSU Pueblo tonight. The Hard Rockers also finished last season with a 6-5 record. They figure to get a good test tonight as Pueblo went 10-2 last season, qualifying for the D2 playoffs. Should be fun tonight as the local college football season kicks off. And I'll have highlights of that big matchup in Spearfish tonight. Black Hills State taking on USF. One note for the Rush, the team has signed forward Jared Westcott for the upcoming season. He had 21 points in 56 games last year with Bloomington and Allen. All right, that's going to do it for sports. We'll be right back after this short timeout.
All right, David, despite the big Packers trade today, you are still dialed in, focused in on the weather.
I had to refocus for a little bit there. That threw me for a loop. I wasn't expecting that trade, but looking outside, we can expect the rain to fall throughout the night and into the day tomorrow, again tomorrow night and Saturday. So yeah, we have a rinse and repeat for the forecast the next couple of days. Showers primarily in Butte County right now, moving east-northeast. More of those showers into Campbell County. Also some storms near Sheridan and Buffalo in Wyoming, moving kind of eastward. So we'll be tracking moisture this evening and overnight. Temperatures will be near 70 degrees Friday and Saturday, warming up into the 70s on Sunday with a storm possible near the Black Hills. And then by Monday for Labor Day, 83 degrees under sunny skies with temperatures back into the 70s Wednesday and Thursday.
All right, you think Micah Parsons is going to look good in green?
I think so. I hope so.
All right, we'll see. That'll do it for us. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you tonight at 10.
Thanks for watching KOTA Territory News, your local news and weather authority.